Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. 2 and 3 days. This is Hoystory on Air, Season 2, Episode 30. Today, we're this is one of my little pet peeves. We're doing a gun podcast. And I tell you, this kind of started last night. Costas Moros, we like him, even though as a Helix High School graduate, and he being a Grossmont High School graduate, we should hate each other. I like him a lot. That's the big La Mesa, California rivalry right there. But he took a look at this proposed ATF rule that's going out, and says, and I'll jump forward real quick to the ATF rule. So this is the rule. Federal law permits federal firearms licensees, FFLs, to transfer firearms to a person residing in the same state but who does not appear in person. That's federal law. Southern California, doesn't matter. We can't do it. It says these are non-over-the-counter sales. The Bureau proposes amending the Department of Justice regulations on these sales. The proposed changes would remove restrictions limiting this option to background check exempt transfers. The proposed rule would permit FFLs to conduct these transfers while complying with background check requirements and adds remote identity proofing and electronic notices to chief law enforcement officers. These changes would provide greater flexibility for individuals lawfully purchasing firearms. Great. This is bringing FFLs into the late 20th, early 21st century. This is online sales. This is, you still got to go through the background checks. You still got to follow state laws, which is why California, I wouldn't be able to do this even if I wanted to. But it'd be like the first 150 years of this nation, when you could order guns from Sears and Roebuck and they'd ship it right to your home. Okay, same sort of thing. So Costas went out there and took a look at the comments on this rule. He says, a ton of the comments on the proposed rule would allow non-over-the-counter gun sales. Our opposition not from anti-gunners, though they have some as well, but from brick-and-mortar FFLs clearly upset that they'd be forced to compete with online sellers, as every other industry has to do in 2026. Some of them even repeat the BS anti-gunner line that this would enable straw purchasing, which isn't true given the ID verification requirements the rule would implement. So that's kind of where we start out. And then this morning, stuff started happening. Max Steele, which sounds like he should either be a superhero, which he isn't, or like a gay porn star. I'm just going to leave that there. It sounds like a gay porn star name. It does. Pops into Costas's comments, says the Second Amendment has been defined down to the president's family leveraging state power to write rules that screw over small businesses to enrich themselves. Now, here's the context on that. Apparently, one of the Trump children has purchased an interest in a online gun seller. So that's where he's going with that comment. Costas responds, yes, Everytown, the defender of small gun shops. Which they aren't. This is just, he's just, I believe the term is called, excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, shitposting. It says, don't take it from me, take it from mom and pop FFLs telling the ATF this will hurt their business. Well, yeah. Competition hurts business. You're going to have to deliver something other of value. Costas responds, what other industries have we permanently frozen in 1995 to protect brick and mortar stores? And gay porn star name says, preaching to the choir, buddy. I am the captain of the team. Treat the gun store industry like other industries. Or treat the gun industry like other industries. And here's where he's getting at with that. Because it's a load of garbage. Costas points out, yeah, man, because when I buy any other thing, I get video and audio recorded in the store. Everytown backs California law. And the thing is, this costs local gun shops tens of thousands of dollars because they've got to keep audio and video of a certain quality for years, just in case the government wants to come by and check it sometime. They don't even have access. They don't even have the right to access their own video in this thing. He points out, I pay an 11% excise tax, backed by Everytown. I'm subject to a background check that erroneously fails for 1 out of every 10 people. That's the ammo background check law here in California. It screws up 1 out of every 10 times. Which, if that were voting, you know that would be a problem. And so, again, I mentioned this. Max Steele, gay porn star guy, is the senior communications person for Everytown Law. Or Everytown for gun safety, or whatever, one of their things. Who cares? So I quote tweet him. It says, this has got to be the most grotesque and bald-faced lie that he's ever tried to sell. And he tries to, I guarantee he tries to sell a ton of them. So he responds, you think that I'm lying when I say the PLCAA should be repealed? And here's, okay, for those of you who are not into guns, PLCAA is the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. And basically, that the law says that you cannot sue gun manufacturers or gun dealers when people use their legal profit for illegal ends. Okay, that's what it says. Because what was happening in the late 90s, early 2000s was someone would get, a gun would get stolen from someone. And it would get sold to a gang member, and it would get sold multiple times on the street. And some gang member would use it to shoot somebody else. And would they go after the gang member? No, because the gang member is probably a minority. Would they go after the person that sold that to them on the street? Well, if they could ever figure out who that is, maybe. No, they go after deep pockets. And deep pockets, in this context, are gun manufacturers. And they were trying to basically sue gun manufacturers out of business or raise their costs so high that the price of guns doubles, so it makes it more difficult for poor people who might live in the bad neighborhoods that need to protect themselves from crime, price them right down to getting guns. Because now the price of a gun is doubled because these guys, backed by Michael Bloomberg's money, are suing for every crime that occurs. And so that's the context of that law. Now, the thing is, the anti-gun side, they say, oh, this insulates gun manufacturers from it makes them unsuable. It's not true. If you buy a gun and you don't pull the trigger and it goes off, or you pull the trigger and it explodes in your face, you can still sue the gun manufacturer for that. You just can't sue them for some third party using the product illegally. And so I said, no, I think you're lying when you say you want to treat the gun industry like other industries. Why do I have to undergo a background check for ammo? I understand you want the right to frivolously sue the gun industry to oblivion, while at the same time prohibiting me from making my own firearms at home. You are a effing tyrant. I don't like him. I don't like gay porn guy. He responds, says, you're lucky because my first and foremost tyrannical power is he thinks he's a superhero and he's the gay porn guy. Is punishing anyone who says a swear word on the internet, and you came close. But now I've got him interacting with me. Maybe I can get an answer. Maybe I can get, because I've tried this before with people. You can go to my Hoystory.com site. You can click on the radio appearances. You can scroll through there. I did a 2-hour debate with a pro-gun control guy, and I try and get, these are some of the answers I try and get from their side. It's like, okay, let's define our terms. Let's define the borders of the debate, and maybe I can get an answer. So let's try this. Maybe you can give me a straightforward answer. Why do you insist that gun manufacturers should be able to be sued and held liable for the criminal use of their products? Why has this strategy, which prompted the PLCAA, never been applied to, say, manufacturers of semi-trucks that are driven by illegal aliens making illegal U-turns on busy highways, resulting in the deaths of other drivers? Or automobile or gasoline manufacturers, when the vehicle, powered by gas, is used by a terrorist to mow down pedestrians, which happened in Germany last week or something, over there in Europe somewhere. I said, I mean, Mazda is kind of asking for it with their Zoom Zoom marketing campaign, right? I'm assuming you would applaud and support lawsuits against those industries as well for the illegal use of their products, right? Because that's what this, they say, oh, I want to treat it just like cars. Well, you commit a crime with a car. I mean, let's say it's the getaway car for a bank robbery. That's how you get away from a bank robbery. Does someone who was injured by the guys robbing the bank or traumatized by them, or can the bank itself sue the company that manufactured that car? Maybe it's a muscle car. Maybe that car, if you floor it, you get that thing in 5th gear or 6th gear and you floor it, maybe that thing can go 150 miles per hour. No car needs to go 150 miles. Why'd you allow it to go 100? Because that way they can get away from the cops. So the closer you come to it is when a bartender serves someone who's obviously wasted already and continues to serve them, and they get in the car and go. Sometimes the bartender's been sued. But that's a heck of a lot more proximate than what Everytown and their, what they want to do. So, do I get a thoughtful, intelligent response to this about why guns are different than cars when it comes to the illegal use of their products? Well, let's see. No, I get a meme. I ain't reading all that. Happy for you though, or sorry it happened. To which I respond to gay porn name guy, coward. And then I quote tweeted, the head of communications for Everytown doesn't want to do any communicating. This is what happens when you press them. If let's take your position. Let's remove the specifics of any particular case, because I don't want innocent people getting shot and killed by guns. Okay, it's kind of why I have guns, is because my family and I are innocent people, and there are evil people with guns, and you want to pass all your gun laws Everytown. I'm the one who's going to lose my guns, maybe, in a tragic boating accident. But the criminals aren't. This just got me today, and so this is why I'm doing this. Don't go online to X to @MaxASteele, or AKA gay porn guy name, and don't pick on him. He's ladies and gentlemen, it's just the way it is. Thanks for joining me. This one was short. Yay! I'm going to put up another couple shorts today. I put up a bunch yesterday. Yesterday was my best day on Facebook, I think, thus far. I think I had like 13,000 some odd views. They're not watching the whole thing. You're probably not watching the whole thing. If you made it this far, thank you. If you made it this far, I'll tell you what. If you made it this far, send an email to Hoystory, HOYSTORY, @gmail.com with the, and put in your email, gay porn guy name. And the first person that does that, I will send you a link for a free copy of the audiobook version of my book, Fact Checking Frauds: How Fact Checkers Distract, Deceive, and Distort the Truth. So if you made it to the end, and I'll even do that if it comes from Max Steele. I'll give him a free audiobook version of my book. He probably won't want to read it. I do talk about guns some in there. So there you go. Thank you for joining me. We'll try and do this again real soon. Again, follow my socials for the shorts videos that I do that are less than 3 minutes, sometimes even shorter. Thanks for joining me.